Guys, welcome back to the channel. We are bringing back the Never Late Again framework here with my boy Jonathan. We're gonna get him right. So look, let's take a look here now. With his haircut, we're gonna hit the wave cut. We're gonna have like a nice clean mid fade, clean up the beard, and then we're also gonna go ahead and give him a nice lineup. You could see we're gonna go over today how to tackle it with a widow's peak, right? So it's universal haircutting system. I use this on straight hair, curly hair, wavy hair, all the way across the board, and it helps keep me on time. It takes away stress from the job. So we'll get right into it.
So like with any haircut, guys, you already know the most important thing is to get the hair combed out. If the hair is unmaintained, if it's just not combed out well, the haircut is not going to come out smooth. You want to have the hair laying down in its most natural position. So get your favorite comb, start working your way through. Pay attention to the crown as well, guys. You want to make sure that you can determine at what point does the pattern of his hair start to spiral out of. So you can see that natural light point at the very back there. That is the origination point of his wave pattern. So we're going to be going through and combing it out. Now, when it comes to trimming it down, you also want to go according to the growth pattern. So you can see that's why here I'm actually starting with my number 2 guard just to play it safe. And we're starting at the crown area and working our way outwards. Right, so that means that, and it's always with the grain. So if the hair grows forward, we cut it forward. If it grows to the left, we cut it to the left. If it grows downwards, we cut it downwards. But this is really what you want to do to make sure that you are preserving the waves, you're preserving the curl pattern, especially when you're cutting black hair. You're cutting wavy hair with a tight curl pattern, right? Anything that's going to wave up, you're always going to want to cut it down with the grain. So I actually ended up switching down here to a 1.5. The 2 wasn't taking it dark enough to where my client wanted it, or it was leaving too dark compared to what my client wanted. So we switched it up to a 1.5, and we're going to be going all the way with the grain, pretty much anywhere, all the way throughout the hair. And this is going to be important to do first, guys. I like to set the top length first, so that way, as we're setting our fade work in, we're working our way up into a finished product. And what's interesting about this too, guys, is you see we're going through and establishing everything here at the 1.5 length because that matches what my client wants. But you notice how there's some lighter spots, there's some darker spots. So actually what I'm going to do now is switch over to the 1 guard, which is 1 level lower. And with this, we can attack the darker spots, especially when it comes to the hair that's bundled up right there on the hairline. So any darker spots, you'll see I'm attacking the darker spots with the lighter guard. So that way we can work to blend all that in. So now when it comes to the fading portion of the Never Late Again framework, guys, I'm a big fan of starting the haircuts with the clipper all the way closed. Now this is going to serve as my bald line. And a lot of you guys have learned from YouTubers over time, and I did too, that you need to start your bald fades with the clipper all the way closed. Now, the problem that this poses is that the clipper all the way closed is going to give you a very precise bald line, and that's not the issue. But the problem is it's almost too precise. It's actually so sharp that it gets really difficult to fade that line out at the end of the haircut. And I'm going to be showing you as this haircut progresses why it's been more beneficial and efficient for me to start my bald lines with the clipper all the way closed instead of using the trimmer. It's one of the biggest mindset shifts that has helped me so much. And the same concept applies to the secondary guideline, not being with the clipper open with no guard, but actually putting the half guard on the clipper, closing the lever, and running a parallel line all the way around, and being gracious with the space too. I'll give it a whole inch if I need to. I really just need to make sure that it's done with the half guard all the way closed, because it also creates a softer, easier to fade out guideline than it would if I were to go in with no guard at all, lever open. Again, I'm not saying that that is a false step or a wrong step to do. I am saying that it is a more challenging step to do. I'm going to teach you how to do things efficiently, simply. You can go into every single haircut with the same level of confidence. This is the system that gets me there. Now, as far as debulking goes, I am going to use the 1.5 guard, right? This is a very universal guard. And if I can use this guard to float my way up and off the head, and when I say that, pay attention to the motion here. You see how I have pressure at the bottom and I float my way up and off the head? My mission is to not give my client a fresh guideline with this, My mission is to softly blend my way up into the darkness that we've already established at the very top of his head. I like this 1.5 guard because it's really a universal guard, man. Like, the thing is, when it's all the way open, I feel like it leaves the hair dark enough that it could blend into just about any length that I have up on top. If you've seen my other haircuts where I do this same system on straight hair, I've been able to do the same with the 1.5 open, blend my way up into lengthy hair. And then I can follow up with this 1.5 guard all the way closed and basically repeat the same motion, but I'm just working my way a little tiny bit lower than where I just was, because now when the 1.5 guard is closed, it starts to lighten up the process a little bit more. It starts to lighten up the hair to where it's going to be easier to fade out the next guideline. Now, if you're familiar at all with the Never Late Again framework, you'll know I'm not going to reach for the 1 guard here. I'm actually going to completely bypass the 1 guard because, think about it, the 1.5 guard closed already covered the 1 guard open. And now what we're using, the half guard all the way open, already covers what the 1 guard with the lever closed would have covered. So if you think about it from an efficiency mindset, you really don't need to use that 1 guard. You can actually skip past it and just work your way here into more of an efficient fade process. So notice here in the back, now obviously, you know, when you do curly hair, you're going to do with the grain and against the grain. But notice here how, you know, floating my way up into that, you see pressure at the bottom, floating my way up and off the head. Y'all see how the half guard open blends really well into the 1.5 guard closed. Leave a comment down below if you've never thought about how you can actually use like math and like the measurements that are on the clipper guards themselves to understand which guards are necessary to use and which guards are totally possible to skip. You know, when I started thinking about that, it's like, dude, it's really not necessary. Using extra guards, like using the 1 guard or even using like a 4, a 3, a 2, there's nothing wrong with it, but I do look at it kind of like training wheels, right? And once you learn how these guard systems work, you can skip a guard here and there and really save yourself some time, so you can save more time for detailing and perfecting rather than just trying to get through your basic haircutting system. Now, in the beginning of this haircut, I told you guys that the clipper all the way closed was going to be the easiest line to fade out, especially when you compare it to putting in the bald line with the trimmers. So the reason that is because now I can take the exact same tool that I used to put the guideline in with, and I can use it to remove the line with. So I can return to clipper all the way closed and I can break through that guideline there. I can just soften up the line a good bit. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just soften it up a little bit. But now that it's time to fade my way higher into the next level of the fade, now, since I'm going higher, I need to go longer. So I'll hit that lever at the first notch, just click it open a little bit, and I'll repeat this process over and over again. At the first click, push it open a little bit. Second clip, push it open a little bit. You know what I mean? And then just over and over again, keep on repeating that motion. And you can see here, now when the clipper is all the way open, I've lightened up my pressure. You can see I really have that clipper tilted up and off the head with a nice soft touch, and it's starting to blend really nice into the frame, into the foundation that we've already set using the Never Late Again framework. So let's watch this come together. The haircut, all these steps are designed in a way that's going to maximize your efficiency and give you more time to perfect and detail towards the end of the haircut. So let's watch these next couple parts of the guideline as we raise it. Let's watch how we blend it. All right, you're gonna see here. Now it's time to go a little higher. Click it open one more notch. Go a little higher. Time to go higher. Click it open another notch, and we keep doing that over and over and over again. That's why we set the lines up how we do. But leave a comment down below too. While we're here during this part of the fade, I'd like for you to let me know what you think about balding out you see all that extra leftover hair at the very bottom. Do you like doing that in the beginning of the haircut? Do you like doing that at the end of the haircut? I know it's one of those things that is super polarizing. Either you love it or you hate it, but I definitely have a reason for leaving it. It's not just, you know, for clicks or whatever. For me, it's strategy. Why I leave the bulk at the very bottom, why I leave that for the end. So leave a comment down below what your thoughts are about it. or if you have an idea as to why you think I may be doing it, leave a comment down below and I'll get into it shortly. Now, a lot of us know that this haircut and this hair texture in particular is not the easiest to work with. You see how sometimes you kind of have that area in between, like where the half is and where the no guard is, that's very difficult to attack and get to blend smooth perfectly. This is where I like to keep a special guard handy nearby. Now, you can get this type of half guard. It may be like your old classic wall half guard that has the short stubby teeth. But in this case, I like using the Stylecraft, the one that comes in their Dubs set. A lot of their clippers come with it, but I like it because it has the round tooth of the half guard, but it also has the magnets that's gonna grip it really nice onto your clipper. But this is called the Tiger Claw method, guys. And it's honestly one of my best kept secrets when it comes to cutting and blending out this area right here. I actually have the clipper all the way closed right here, and just going downwards with the grain. I think they call it the Tiger Claw method because imagine like the claw of the tiger is kind of scratching at their head, right? I learned that from Game Changer's channel way back in the day. Let me know in the comments if you guys are Game Changer fans, if y'all remember watching his videos. But I kind of picked up this concept watching his channel, so I can't take full credit for it. But doing this, something about it just kind of helps catch all these little hairs that need to be trained and laid down. Doing this over and over and over again. If you're nervous about it, try it on just the first notch, you know, like one click open, and kind of see how it starts to work. But once you get the hang of it, you're gonna notice like it's totally worth just going straight for the clipper closed and laying all this down. But it's perfect for blending out that extra area that needs extra detail and extra love, typically between like that half open and the no guard all the way open. It works really, really well for me. It works wonders. Just look at how nice that blend is sitting now, you know, just with a small tweak like that. So before we get into the fun part, right, before we get into the lineup, before we get into debulking all the hair on the side and the back of the head, we're gonna go ahead and knock out this beard blend, because again, part of efficiency is, like, I have this clipper in my hand, I may as well just go ahead and do everything that I need to with it while I have this clipper in my hand. So, you know, the same way how we were opening the notch little by little as we worked our way up, I kind of do the reverse. You know, as I'm doing the beard, I might start all the way open, you know, chip away at the hairs that I need to, freehand away the hairs, and then as I work my way higher, you kind of work your way closed. Instead of slowly opening it, you kind of slowly close it. Because the thing about it, it's almost like a reverse fade. So notice how I freehand the shape with the clipper all the way open. And then as you see here, we'll flip the clipper over and I'll start it all the way open, barely just chipping away at a few hairs, chipping away at the dark spots, little by little, closing my way just a tiny little bit more. You see I'm there. Now I can close the clipper a little bit because it's time to go shorter as we go higher. So it's literally the reverse process of the fade that we did on the head. But guys, you're gonna notice too in the description, like all of these, I know some of you guys are like, how do I do this system on straight hair? How do I do this system on curly hair, on wavy hair, these different styles? I made a free school group for you guys that if you join it, I'm gonna be categorizing every single haircut tutorial that I've ever done. So you can get in there, you can have discussions with the community, make your posts and stuff like that with problems that you're having so I can help you more tailored. But yeah, it's a free school group, man. Check out the description down below. So you're gonna find this in the curly hair classroom. Right, so I think that'll be fun. I wanted to put together something so we can all kind of just interact a little bit more intimately. Y'all see, so yeah, definitely check that out, man. I would love to see you guys there. That's honestly, if you want like feedback on your type of haircuts, I would encourage you guys to get your videos, get your posts, like post them up in there, and then as I have time, I'll be helping you guys out there. So the lineup, guys, remember how I told you about the widow's peak? Kill that first. Knock that widow's peak out. You're gonna see here, and I'm doing my best to work with the camera too. You know, you'll see it glitch a couple times here, but just knock it out first, man. The same applies when I tell you guys that it's a good idea to start your way in the middle, then work your way off to one corner, return to the middle, work your way to the other corner. It is the easiest way to get a lineup done. it takes one long job. If you start all the way in the left corner and then you work your way all the way to the right corner, it really breaks it down into two simpler jobs. You get your middle point, and now all we have to do is focus on the middle to this corner. Half the job is done. Now you can return your way to the other side. You're gonna see I flip him around here. I can return to that middle point, and now I could focus on this middle point to the other side, right? And then after that, you're gonna see that we can go ahead and make the adjustments that we need to. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool, man. You'll see it come together here and how we balance out the two sides. I got a great trick for that too, that a lot of people don't think about. But yeah, guys, check out that school group I was telling y'all about, man. I think we can really build something dope. I can probably do more interactive courses there and stuff like that. This is the trick right here. When you have the client in front of you, tilt his head. Once it looks good while you're looking at him straight on, tilt his head downwards, and you could see this curve. You see that kind of U shape? Make sure that it looks good when you're looking straight at him, but if you're not sure, double check it, man. Tilt his head downwards towards you to make sure that the U shape is looking nice and even. If it looks wonky at all, then you'll know that it's easier to see where you messed up in a lineup if that U shape is not perfectly smooth there. So I think that'll be dope for you. But see, that's the kind of stuff that we can dive deeper in when it comes to that school group, man. So if you're having problems, take your pictures, post them up in the community. I'll do my best to give you guys feedback on that and just help you guys grow. You know what I mean? So look here, this is the fun part, right? Now, the reason why, notice here, you see that band of blend that I have sitting there? For me personally, I have a very ADHD, kind of like scatterbrained. It's hard for me to focus on doing that band of transition if I start off with no hair at the very bottom. So personally, if I leave that hair at the bottom, it lets me just focus on that transitional area from bald to light to dark. And I can just focus all 100% of my effort on that area there. Then I can follow up and go ahead and bald the thing out. You know what I mean? But if I were to do it too early, now I have to focus on the whole head at once, from the very top of his head all the way down to the nape of his neck. And that's just too much for my brain to handle at once. So again, I break things down efficiently, stress-free, an easy to follow system that you guys can apply on every single haircut. So I would love to see you guys in the school group. Join, you know, and when you have problems, post the pictures and videos, post them up in school. We can all talk with each other. It is a community that is built around efficiency, a group of barbers who is dedicated to being on time and just stop running behind. And that's why I call it the NLA community, the Never Late Again community. It's all of us barbers there, man. We're just ready to be more efficient, you know. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. I'm excited for what the future holds with it. But yeah, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for supporting.